an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
We have got to get to the bottom of this new fad for y'all to be celibate and abstinent. Especially with us being, 3 days into the new year? It's the only place that I'm seeing the influx of people can't wait to go in the comments and say, been celibate for 8 years, been celibate for 3 years. Just tell us what happened 8 years ago that made you become celibate. Tell us what happened 3 years ago that made you become celibate. I guarantee the reason is consistent. You got dogged out by somebody who you didn't think was going to dog you out, and because they didn't reciprocate the same thing to you, you said, I'm going to close up shop. And so you've been celibate, and all that proves to the world is that you just made the wrong decision in your partners. Come on now. The only time somebody pull back sex from their life, and I'm not saying sex is everything, but the only time somebody proudly boasts that they are celibate and they are abstinent is when they know they made horrible decisions and who they allowed in their bed. I guess celibacy and abstinence will be the number one thing you're going to. And I think a lot of women think that if they say they're celibate or if they say they're abstinent, it's going to bring more value to them. Men are going to be like, oh, she's so valuable. Let me take her. Let me just go do everything that she wants me to do. That's not what's going on. All it's letting us know is that in your time to decide who was going to get in your bed, you kept choosing the wrong people to share your energy, your spirit, and your sexual genitals with. And when you didn't get the results that you was looking for, you say, I'm going to be celibate, I'm going to be abstinent. So boom, here we are. And you can't wait to tell everybody how many years you've been without sex. As opposed to you just simply just saying, I'm a demisexual. And a lot of y'all knew what a demisexual is somebody who does not want to engage in sex until they have a strong emotional connection with somebody and it's reciprocated. Because I don't tell anybody that I'm abstinent, and I don't tell anybody that I'm celibate because I would be lying to them. But I will tell them that I'm demisexual, because before I can lay down in that bed with you, I have to know there's a strong emotional connection for us to connect on, as opposed to just something physical, because the physical stuff fades. But the emotional connection, that's if it's deep and where it needs to be, then yes, we're probably going to be able to move to the bedroom. I'm not going to feel bad about it, because at least I'm going to say, well, I know he loves me, well, I know he likes me. But for me to just be like, oh, I'm abstinent, and then somebody comes along and I like how they look and all that stuff, and I just slip up on my abstinence, y'all don't tell nobody that. You just say, I've been celibate for 8 years, I've been abstinent for 3 years. But then you don't tell us the time that you slip up and you're not that, and you are jumping into bed again. You still making the wrong decisions, because nothing has changed with you becoming celibate. Nothing has changed with you becoming abstinent. You still don't have a control over your emotions. You're still giving them out freely. You're still getting your needs unmet. You're still leaving out of things feeling unfulfilled. You being celibate and abstinent does nothing to your value as a person, especially as a woman, because all it's telling us is you just consistently made the wrong decisions in the partners that you allowed in your bed. So you think that going to celibacy and abstinence is the best plan? I'm going to have a crown on, and no. What's going to be the best plan is you, first of all, figuring out what's your needs. Have your needs been met before you even get to that bedroom? Let me start there. And second of all, does this person share an emotional connection with you, so that when you get to that bedroom, you all are not engaging in emotionless sex? Because a lot of y'all have made y'all children with no emotions. A lot of y'all kids came from fucking. Kids weren't made on no love. Therefore, when they come into this world, they don't receive all the love that they're supposed to receive from both parents, because 9 times out of 10, one of the parents don't even want the child. This is what y'all doing. Y'all creating children from lust. Your decisions are made on lust, because there is no emotional connection. There has been no emotional investment from the other side. So you said, I'm going to be abstinent, I'm going to be celibate, and I'm going to be the grandiose or whatever you think in your mind. And at the end of the day, you just still telling me that you don't know how to choose the right people to share your sexual energy with. And then when a man comes along that you didn't expect and he loves bomb you, it blows up in your face. You get sexually active with him, and the moment it don't go your way, you're going to fall back into your celibacy. A lot of y'all go back to your religion. Y'all start going to church and thinking that that's going to change something, that's going to make a difference. You ain't healed. You're the only difference that you can see. So if you want something different, you definitely have to be it. Instead of saying that you are abstinent or celibate, you need to be proud of being a demisexual. And maybe you should look that up to know what that exactly means. That is you telling another man that, unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to get there with you until I know that there's a strong emotional connection. Period. And he can either take a hike because all he want to do is come and have sex with you anyways, or he going to stay around and try to invest in you to make sure that y'all can get those emotions that you need are felt before you even move to that step. Because men will respect you when you tell them what your needs are sexually. What they don't respect is a woman who claims she's abstinent and she's celibate, but she has children. Okay? Because that you're gonna that's a hard thing to prove that you abstinent and celibate and you got children. That's very hard. So all of a sudden you abstinent and celibate, but you weren't when you had those children. That's all they thinking about. That's all I'm thinking about here when you tell me that you got kids and all of a sudden you abstinent and celibate. I don't look at you as if you've made a change. I look at you as if you've made a bunch of mistakes that led you to thinking that I got to keep my sex to myself. As opposed to you getting your needs met, you've just made a bunch of mistakes where your needs were unmet and your panties was wet and everything was just awry, but you were still having sex because you liked what that person had over there and you couldn't pull yourself back. That's all it's telling me. It's not telling me nothing different about you made a lot of decisions, except you made a lot of bad decisions when in a choice that you made with your sexual partners. They didn't share any of that energy that you had for them with you, but you still laid down for them. And here it is. Now you're abstinent and now you're celibate and you're so proud. You're going to get it on the shirt. You're going to go out into the world and you still are not making great decisions. I guarantee just because you're abstinent or celibate, you're still talking to the same men with a different face, a different address, a different body, a different everything. But that's the same man. You know why? Because you are the problem, sis. It's you. It ain't got nothing to do with if you fucking on the first day or you fucking on 90 days. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's you. Because you still trying to run after your type. And you fail to realize that your type, you're not your type's type. Your type has a type. You're not your type's type. So you're going to pine after your type. You're going to eventually think that if you put great sex on your type, that he's going to come around. All he's going to do is take what you're giving him because it comes hassle free. And then when it's all said and done, when he sees his type, he's going to pine after his type and you're going to be left on the back burner. There you go, saying you're abstinent and celibate. Because that's the time when y'all have sex. Y'all have sex with y'all type. You don't have sex with nobody that's not your type. Be honest, sis. You ain't going out there having sex with nobody. You always looking for your type. And the thing about it is you're not your type's type. Your type still has a type. You're not it. But because you keep pining after him and thinking that this great sex is going to keep him, guess what he's going to do? He's going to take it. Because for one, he has no other options. He has no other options. And when he keeps taking and taking and taking and give you nothing back, then you're going to say, dang, I feel depleted. Okay, let me go be abstinent. Okay, let me go be celibate. And I can't wait to tell the world that I'm not having sex with nobody. When in essence, I'm telling the world that I just made a bunch of bad decisions on those who I put in my bed. They didn't even like me like that. I knew it. I could see it and I could feel it. But I still thought that I gave them the best sex ever, that they would change their mind. They never do. And now you abstinent, you celibate. And now you falling back into your religion. You going to church. You all in the Bible. That will not stop the train wreck that you are, because one thing you failed to do was heal. And you failed to take accountability. You know what? It's my fault. Because the reason why I had sex with that man was because where I was at that point in my life. It's why I was thinking of myself lowly. It's how I was living lowly. My vibrations were low. My frequency was low. You don't ever say, you know what? It's my fault. It's my fault that Terrell came in here and effed me over. And all he wanted to do was fuck, because Terrell was my type. But I wasn't Terrell's type, and I know it. But I just had to have Terrell. Now I'm going to be celibate because Terrell doesn't have access to me no more. And then come along, and by 6 months to a year, another man come along and he giving you the same vibes as Terrell gave you. And you swear he's changing. He's a great option, love bombing. Because you don't know the difference between being love bombed and when somebody actually likes you. That is the problem, babe. Not only are you keep chasing after your type, you don't know what love bombing really looks like. You think that somebody actually like you. You think because they pay for some hairdos, they pay a couple of bills. I have said it plenty of times. A man who couldn't afford it has no problem doing it. He will still love bomb you to death and still want nothing to do with you. Exactly, Daphne. It's definitely deeply within. You have to figure out what is going on within. Where was I at that point in my life that made me choose this man to get into my bed when I know he was no good for me? Not because I heard it, but because I can physically see this man is not investing in me. This man is not doing nothing with me. He doesn't even have an emotional bond with me. So, but you know what? Don't worry about that. I'm going to go be celibate and I'm going to just sit back and let life pass me by. Even though I want, when the first penis come along that I think is the most wonderful thing ever, I'm going to jump on it and I'm going to get hurt again. Because guess what? Same man, different face, different name, different address. It's you. I was in my mom's, when I was grown, I honestly don't want to date again. I was a teen mom and my kids grown. I want to fully deposit into me. See, that's what I'm saying. Leora. Even though Leora said it, that's an example of you made the wrong decisions when you became a mom that early. Because you were dealing with men that you thought that were going to step up and be dads. And what it did, it possibly left you to be a single mom to carry that burden on your back. So now you feel like you don't want to date again. When all you had to do was just say, you know what? I wasn't even emotionally set up to even be having sex, let alone give birth. You don't take accountability, Leora. That's not an accountability statement. That's still you blaming others. When the problem with babe is you. You were in a bad headspace, a bad emotional place that made you get into bed and have sex, get pregnant, and then you got the results, and now you don't want to date anymore. It's probably not even, you probably haven't even connected with different men on a different level. You know why? Because you still haven't forgiven yourself. That's another thing, you haven't forgiven yourself for that. So now you're gonna say, I don't want to date again. You haven't did any self-reflection, any self-evaluation, no self-apologies. You haven't said anything. You don't know better now. So you think by you not dating again, that's doing better. It's not. It's showing us that you still don't take accountability for the decision that you made in your life. You got to take accountability. Those people came in and did what they did because you allowed them in. It ain't, unless somebody put a gun to your head and robbed you, the only way they had access to you is if you gave them access to you. And dating isn't sex. So I think, and that's another thing. Y'all keep confusing dating with sex. Y'all keep making them be the same. Dating is not sex. Dating is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be learning these people while you're dating. You're supposed to be seeing them in all of their versions. But because y'all want to move dating to the sex part so soon and you don't get those results, now you don't want to date. Dating is fun. What you don't like is the courting and the relationships. That's what you don't like, because dating is not even that serious. And if you stop confusing dating with the girlfriend, boyfriend title or seriousness, then you will never say I don't like dating. I have never said that I don't like dating, and I'm divorced. I will never tell nobody that. I love going on dates because I love seeing people for who they truly are. Because when you're dating them and sex is not involved, you get to see the full version of them. When you get to see them in all their versions, around their friends, around their family, around their coworkers, you get to determine if you even need to still be dating this person, let alone laying down with them. But people do not want to take, again, accountability, because when you were so busy dating, your dating turned to fucking. Sex got involved. And when sex gets involved, everything that makes sense goes out the window. You know why? Because now your emotions are involved with sex. Women are emotional creatures. We are known to equate sex with feelings. That's what we do. That's why we have taken on so many of the wrong partners. Because we do that, where men don't do that at all. Men can just lay down with dogs, have sex with them, get up and move around and have no feelings for them. But us women, if we get to the point of a bed and we're not being paid, then there was some type of emotion or a feeling that we had for that man. Again, going back to you, sis, introspect, self-evaluation. Where were you at that time when you chose that partner? Your self-esteem wasn't up here. Because if your self-esteem was up here, you wouldn't even be down there with that rubble. That people wouldn't even have no access to you. But you're not there. So you're usually down there with them. The only people who have access to you where you are in your life right now is the same people who are on the same vibration as you. I'm going to say that again so y'all can get it. The only people who have access to you now, the only men, are on the same vibration as you. Here, down here. Your self-esteem was not up here. Because if it was up here, down here would have had no access to you. They wouldn't have been able to tell you nothing that was going to make you fall down to their level and get with them. A lot of things we go through in life because we don't heal. The traumas that we go through, those attachment issues, those abandonment issues, those some of y'all got sexual trauma issues where you were probably raped and molested. But then there's also the sexual trauma of just having the wrong partners. That's trauma too. So sexual trauma does not only include the devastating rapes and molestation, it also includes you just choosing the wrong partners. You mad at yourself because you lost your virginity too early. That's all trauma. And you will take that with you in every part of your life until you apologize to yourself and then forgive yourself, because you could not do better if you did not know. And I know. I was angry with myself for years and couldn't figure out why until I went to counseling. And just in front of my counselor, that's when I was able to reveal it to come out. I was mad because I felt like I lost my virginity too early to somebody who ain't even like me. There I was being hot on the ass, thinking that this was going to make him like me. I had been mad at myself for years, still acting in that same stupid behavior until I sat down with my therapist and realized, damn. Well, if I didn't know better, how I was going to do better? Unfortunately, a lot of our mothers don't sit down and have that emotional intelligence talk with us to say, daughter, it's going to be a time when you get to an age when a boy going to convince you to have sex. Our mothers don't build us up and make sure that we're built so strong that we don't fall in those traps, which is why a lot of us do, but a lot of y'all do become teen parents. Because nobody set you down and taught you the importance of emotional intelligence and how to maintain your emotions. Because when you get to a certain age, those boys turn it on strong. Even those pedophile men, those dope boys in the neighborhood that everybody know that they messing with little girls, but nobody says anything, they turn it on strong. They've been watching you for years. Can't wait till you grow up. Just to swoop on down, get you to like them, give you a baby or whatever they give you, and then get the hell on out of there. It's happened to too many of us. Because why? Because our parents, namely our mothers, did not teach us the emotional intelligence. So you got little boys running out there thinking that they have to have sex to feel like men, because that's all they hear the older boys talking about. And then you got the little girls looking at the wrong images, listening to the wrong music. All the music you hear about from the 90s on to now included sex. We shouldn't even been listening to that, because there we was in the back of our mind that was still growing, thinking that we had to have sex to get to the next level in a relationship. What we never had somebody teach us emotional intelligence. That's what I do as a coach. I want to take it back to your emotions. You got to take them out of them, because the heart will lie to you. The heart will have you feeling somebody who don't even feel you, because that's what emotions will do. It will put a blinder on you. And before you know it, you with the wrong person. You done gave the wrong person your body. And now it's back to, I'm going to be abstinent. I'm going to be celibate, when there's no accountability taken. You got to take accountability for where you was in your life. You lack emotional intelligence. If you understand that women, again, equate sex with emotions, but if you knew how to maintain your emotions, then you would know that you shouldn't even been involved with them people that have sex with them. They shouldn't even have access to your body, let alone have access to you. But those are things that we're not taught when we're younger. Not by parents, definitely not in the school. Because a long time ago, school taught you about sex ed. They taught you how to have sex and the consequences of sex. Y'all remember that? If you remember how school was a long time ago, remember they taught you how to walk around with that stupid little egg in a basket, training us to be mothers already. We were teens. That's what they did though. Changing our mind that was still shaping our brain, that was still learning, was learning the wrong stuff. So what did it do? It did it the wrong way. And now when we want to think about our emotions, that's when we, over the age of 25, when we just tired of being used, we finna be celibate, we finna be absent, and we think that's going to change. When all it is you're going to still attract the same men because your vibrations are still low. And the only people who have access to you is the ones who are down there with you. But when you level up in your life, take accountability, do your self-evaluation to see exactly what it is that you need to work on. You, because only you can evaluate yourself correctly. I can't evaluate you. Even if I was your coach, I still am not going to be able to evaluate you, because I'm only going to know what you tell me and what you show me. If you evaluate yourself 100%, as some of y'all haven't done because you haven't gotten never date just one, and then evaluate those relationships you've been in. So you can see exactly why you keep attracting the same type of man over and over and over again with a different face, a different name, and a different address. You haven't even evaluated the relationship to see exactly where you got lost in the sauce at. So you don't have to be worried about telling somebody I'm abstinent or I'm celibate. You can just tell them simply I'm a demisexual. And until there is a strong emotional bond between the both of us, there is no sex being exchanged. He can either get gone or step up as a man and get you to trust him on an emotional level, not love bomb you. Because love bombing, again, you should be, if you can't tell it, I understand, because it looks so similar to somebody liking you. But there are huge differences. Love bombing will turn it on strong. You'll see love bombing spending a lot of money. You'll see love bombing spending a lot of time. A man who has no other options and will make you his option will give you all the time and attention you need. Love bombing. I don't want a man that doesn't have more options. And I just want to say this because, yes, I'm divorced. But I'm not divorced because the love wasn't there. I'm divorced because the man had a deeper love than me. What was that love? He had a love for drugs. Nobody knows the reason why I divorced that man. I was never going to be able to compete with that. No, he did not cheat. Yes, he did provide. But when you put drugs in the mix and you have went and spent money and you have did all these things, there is no way that I was going to be able to stand that marriage proudly and keep that secret. Absolutely not. I was not going to be able to do that. And I don't tell everybody the reason why I'm divorced. I just tell y'all I'm divorced. I'm single because I'm divorced. So I had to walk away. And when you think about trying to getting him to love me enough to change, obviously the love for him wasn't there enough for him to change. So I had to change my position in his life and I had to get gone. I had to think of my sanity and I had to think of myself first. When I thought about where I was in my life when I met him, it made sense. I met him at a time when I was selling drugs. You see what I'm saying? You see how that go? I attracted the same energy that I was giving into the universe when I was out there acting like a dude on the block, doing all this stuff. I met this man at the same time, but when it came out, yes, I should have walked away, and I didn't. That lets you know that the lack of self-love was there because I was trying to love this man more than I love myself, and I should have walked away as soon as it was brought to my attention that there was a drug problem. But because I did not want to take the L, I said, no, I'm going to love him. I'm going to love him. I'm going to love him right on past this. Loved him nowhere. But I lowered my own vibrations. And again, when I did a relationship evaluation of to where I was at that time when I had this man, I attracted the same energy I was getting to the universe into my life. So I had to make a change. I had to come out of that time, that headspace, that mindset. I had to start going back into self-love. I had to increase self-love. I had to increase self-worth. I had to do a lot of different things to level up so that I no longer attract any more men with addictions. I no longer want that. But I had to take a hard look at myself, though. I'm a whole coach. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I went into my own 31 days to internal satisfaction. And I had to go through the gamut and go to, even after I did counseling, had to go through healing all over again. Because I knew that I was a problem. In order for me to change the energy around me, I had to change me. I didn't blame him. I blamed me. I met him at a time where my vibrations was real low. So was his. You see what I'm saying? We had the same thing emotionally and mentally going on. It was no way I was going to attract another man where I was. But I attracted him. And then I forgave him. I had to apologize to myself. And then I forgave myself. And then I started working on doing it better. So that I don't have to keep blaming him or blaming nobody else. Because the only reason why those people had access to me is because I allowed them in. I opened the front door. I let them in willingly. I let them move in willingly. Knowing all of the things that I knew. Ladies, you can't love no man past his pain. And until you get to the bottom of your own pain, so that you can love yourself more, you're going to continue to attract the same men on the same vibration. I don't care what y'all in here on this app listening to from Shira. She say, go over here and get dressed like this and wear this color hair and go get these men. And That's not going to work until you work on you. You still the problem. I guarantee anything that she done told any ladies, if they didn't come on this app and lie, has not worked. Why? Because a woman has still not worked on herself. So you can go chase a high value man still with your low value, and he's not going to do anything but love bomb you, spend a few dollars on you, get what he needs and get out of there. He going to still do the same thing. He just might make a little bit more than the people who you had at that level, but he going to still be down there on a slow frequency. He's going to love bomb you, spend a few dollars on you, make you feel good, get what he wants, and still get out of there. Same results, different man in a different economic class. It's not them, it's you. It didn't change until I had to change my vibration. And I've never said I'm abstinent, and I've never said I'm celibate. I'm just not laying down with you until I know it's a strong emotional connection. However you take that is on you. That's your business. I don't care. And if the person run, then that means they was only there to get sex anyways. I was honest. Because I'm not going to make anybody believe that I'm celibate or abstinent. I wouldn't dare do that to myself. That only shows that I made bad decisions. Abstinence and celibacy, ladies, it just shows that you made bad decisions on who you allowed in your bed, who you allowed in your body. It's going to be hard as hell for you to prove to somebody that you're celibate and you got kids. Let me start there. I don't even care how long you've been celibate. That's a farce. It just shows you made, even with those children's fathers, you made the wrong decisions. Because if the man treated you how you're supposed to be treated, you won't be hollering nothing about celibacy or abstinence. You'll be hunching every chance you get on a man that you feel like is worth it and is giving you everything that you need, meeting your needs emotionally, meeting your needs spiritually, meeting your needs mentally. And some of them come and meet your needs financially. You're going to be hunching him to the moon and back. You ain't going to be hollering that celibate, abstinent stuff then. But you're going to do it right now because of the same gutter garbage that you keep attracting at the level that you are. So, of course, be proud of your celibacy and your abstinence. And all you telling me and others is that, oh, she just made some bad decisions. She just blaming that junk on everybody now. She won't take accountability because she just let the wrong men in her bed between her legs. Nope. But she definitely going to blame the rest of the world. Baby, go work on yourself. Take some time. You only need a month. You don't need 6 months. A lot of y'all be taking, it don't require 6 months. It requires a real 31 days for you to sit down and sift through all of that stuff. It only takes a month. It's coaches. You only got a coach from anywhere to 4 to 6 months. And when you have a coach, you develop plans that you have to follow within that time frame. Because at the end of that time, when you with that coach, if you have not made any changes in your life, then that is your money wasted. No, coaches don't hold on to you for 8 and 9 years. We're not holding on to you we're not doing that. You got 4 to 6 months as a coaching client. You hear what I'm saying? And in 4 to 6 months, you're going to develop some goals that you got to set for yourself. Because I don't set those goals. Only you know what those things that you need to do. So we're going to set those goals for the 4 to 6 months. And you have that long to make those changes. And if at the end of 6 months you didn't make those changes, that is on you. Because again, it is your life. I can't live your life for you. I can't evaluate you. I'm not going to jump in your head space because you know everything about you. You only going to give me some things to know about you. So the things that you give me, we're going to develop a plan. And we're going to have set targeted completion dates for that. So, okay, you need to learn how to do that within 3 months. And at the end of those 3 months, we're going to visit that. Well, Sherry, what have you done to be able to learn this? And you got to break it down to me and tell me what you did to learn that. Because I can't do it without your help. Versus therapy. They're going to come in. They're going to try to diagnose you and say, oh, you're depressed. Oh, this and that. A lot of y'all don't be depressed. It's called situational sadness. One situation made you very sad. So you'll tell the world, I'm depressed. Please stop speaking depression into your life. But when you have situational sadness, you still get up to go to work. You still got to pay bills. You still got to take care of your kids. You don't have time to be in depression because, again, depression, when you're really clinically depressed, that's like a luxury. You're taking a break from life. You feel like everything is too heavy. Situational sadness, on the other hand, allows you to be sad about a situation, sometimes too sad, but you still got to keep it moving. So when you go to therapy, that's what they're trying to diagnose you with a DX code to see where you fall in that. Some of them like to prescribe you medicine. So that's my lesson to y'all. You abstinent and you celibate because you allowed those people into your life. Go apologize to yourself. Make sure you know what you're apologizing for. I apologize to myself for letting them Neanderthals come in here knock me up, get me pregnant, make me a single mom, make me work hard through life. I'm sorry, self. I'm sorry I made us go through that, and mean it. Don't accept it today, though. The day that you apologize to yourself, it's not for you to accept that apology that day, because you still got to go do some work. But after that, when you feel like you've got to your level, then you go ahead and accept your apology, because now you know better. You can do better. It's time for you to move forward. And you don't have to say, well, I don't want to date again. What you don't want to do is get fucked over again. Be honest. And that only comes when you start developing emotions for everybody that you come in contact with and don't know how to have emotional intelligence so they can keep them at bay. When you lack emotional intelligence, you allow the wrong people into your bed. And that leads you to abstinence and celibacy. When you increase your emotional intelligence and understand that every man for himself, that you cannot love anybody else more than you love you, you got to put yourself on the pedestal, put you first, and you're going to learn how to treat others, how to treat you, then you'll say, I'm a demisexual. They're going to say, what is that? Oh, I can't sleep with you unless I have an emotional connection with you. They're going to either run for the hills because they're not trying to like you and all they want to do is hunch, or they're going to say, I need to be right here with her. I need to prove to her that I do like her and I do want a future with her. And then that's the difference. But it's not going to happen with just one man at a time. Because when you have one man at a time, you give too much attention to one man. You want to talk to him every day. You want to text him all the time. You want to see him all the time. And guess what? There you go, developing emotions for him. Lack of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence then went out the window. Because you keep wanting to be around this one man. You want to see this one man. You want to talk to this one man. You have made your life be about this one man. You're not his end-all, be-all, but he's become your end-all, be-all, then he uses it against you. Because once he see that you overly invest in him, he about to take that and run with it. And then there you go. You're going to be back at square one, celibate or abstinent, because you didn't know how to date properly. You thought dating included sex. You thought dating included you to have feelings, when dating is supposed to be for you to learn who this man is, to see if he even need to be in your space. That's what dating is. That's why I teach never date just one. Never date just one. Because I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket about John. And John can play on that once he realizes he's my only option. He gonna take it and run. He supposed to. Get you more than one option. Learn how to balance your roster. Learn how to look at their behaviors over time so that you can learn who these individuals are. Once you start seeing them in all their versions, then you're going to see exactly why you need to drop some of them off, or you pick them up, or you need to go ahead and move forward. It's not going to take one roster. It might not even take two, and it's definitely not going to take less than 6 months. In the times that we're living in right now, a lot of these men coming from single parent household where they never saw a man love their mom. They cannot emulate what they never saw. And there was only a few of them that will say, you know what? I'm going to be the difference. I didn't see anybody love my mom, but I'm going to make sure I'm the best man to do that for my women. It's only a few that do that. Yeah, it's only a few, because it's not a lot of these men we won't come from single parent households. They've never seen anybody value their mother. Nobody take care of their mother. Nobody overlove their mother. But we expect them to do it to us. They don't even know what it looks like. And we don't have time to teach them. But all we could do is overlove ourselves, overvalue ourselves, do all the things to ourselves. And then he or she or whoever, all they can do is see you doing it, and they can just learn from it. If you're not doing it, he's not going to do it either, babe. Understand that. Abstinence and celibacy does nothing but show me that you made the wrong decisions. So why don't you make some right decisions? Go and heal. And when you're ready to, when you finish with healing, and you know you're tired of that mess, what I want you to do is pick up a copy of Never Date Just One and learn how to roster date. And stop giving all your eggs to one man. Put you a couple of baskets out there. Put you a couple of eggs in each basket. See which basket hatches first. Because the ones that don't want you ain't going to hatch. They just going to sit right there looking for you to sit on top of them like mothers, like chickens do their eggs. They're going to look for you to sit on top of them and make them warm and nurture them. But the ones that's ready to step out into the world, they're going to hatch. And they're going to do what they're supposed to do. Abstinence and celibacy, babe. It's not going to give you more value. But it will tell that man that if you tell him I've been abstinent for 8 years, he's going to say, what do I need to do so I can get her off that? Oh, I know what I need to do. I done heard her say that her ex-boyfriend treated her bad and this is and that. Okay, I'm going to do the opposite. You already gave him the blueprint to love bomb you. You don't even know it because you talk too much. So he going to love bomb you for the next 7 to 8 months. Eventually you're going to give in to he doesn't care how long it takes because he doesn't have any other options. So he doesn't care how long it takes, okay? He's going to play the radio with you for however long it takes for you to give him sex. And then he gonna either use you for more of it or get out of there when he gets it. Because you don't know the difference between the real love and love bombing. Go on to TikTok shop. Get your copy of Never Date Just One, sis. Everything I'm telling you here is in here. Okay? You got to pick and choose where you want to be this year, sis. We 3 days in. And a lot of y'all already doing it wrong. Even at the 3rd day. So I want to make sure that the rest of the days of this year are not going like the first 3. And what does that mean? Because you haven't changed. You haven't apologized to yourself. You haven't did anything that's going to make you do better. So do the things that you need to do, okay? I'll see y'all later.